Hi third graders, welcome to our math lesson. Right here in front of you, you have the 8 divisions tables because this week I am going to quiz you on your 8 division tables. You should already know your 8 times tables. We'll sing it though, okay? So I'll use my fingers. 8, 16, and 24, 32 and 40, 48 and 56 and 64 and 72 and 80 and 88 and 96. So division is just the opposite of that, but you can still use your fingers. So if I say something like, and I'll zoom in, 48 divided by 8. So I'm just going to count up to 48. 8, 16, and 24, 32, and 40, 48. 48 divided by 8 is 6, because I have 6 fingers. Okay? Or if I do something like 16 divided by 8. 8, 16. 16 divided by 8 is 2, because I have 2 fingers. So I'm going to quiz you on your 8 times tables, or your 8 divisions tables on Friday. And we'll have this chart available every lesson up till then, okay? So now you can take out your math book to page 197. What? We're almost at page 200. We'll reach that on Wednesday, I believe. No, we'll reach that tomorrow. Anyway, go to page 100. That's not the color I want. 197, okay? We're going to learn to convert and add. And I know this is going to be confusing because it's a lot more steps, but we can do this. We won't do everything on number 1. We'll do some of them, and then we'll do the other half at our Zoom meeting, as usual. So we're going to focus just on A and B. I'm going to zoom in right here to number 1. Notice, there's a plus sign. We're going to now solve these. We've got equations. There's an equal sign. All right, so here's what I'm going to explain. Okay, listen very, very carefully. I've got gallon, quart, and gallon. Now it's basically saying at the very end, I want gallons, okay? The very end, I want gallons. I don't want anything else but gallons. So that means I've got to get rid of something that's not gallons. So I'm going to look at the equation, 5 gallons plus 16 quarts. Who should I tell to leave? Because I don't want them here anymore. Or, here's another thing. Remember, converting means to change, right? So, in this sense, I'm going to make a story up again. I want to tell someone that they need to change. So, let's say, for example, they're not wearing, let's say, for example, we go to, like, a basketball game, like a Laker game, and you wear something, like you wear a jersey from the other team that the Lakers are playing, and that's not good, right? So I would say, go home, change into a Laker jersey, and then come back, right? So that's what we're telling someone here to do. We notice they're different, they're not wearing the right attire for the occasion, so we're telling them, go home, change, and come back, so that everyone's the same. So in this case, we want everyone to be a gallon, okay? So we need to tell 16 quarts, hey bud, you gotta change. So they're gonna convert, okay? So again, let me give another example. If I'm holding a Laker party at my house, okay, and everyone comes, but one person does not wear a Laker shirt, okay, they're gonna go home, change into a Laker shirt, and come back. It's the same person, right? They didn't come back a different person. They just came back wearing Laker gear, okay? So for here, we're converting, it's the same information but in a different form. So I'm going to just put, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to box 16 quarts, just to kind of be like, you need to change. I'm pointing you out, all right? Which is sad, but come on. Wear a Laker jersey when you go to a Laker game, no? I'm kidding. So I'm going to put my steps underneath here. Notice this 5 gallon, totally fine. He's good. He's wearing the right uniform for the right, at the occasion, okay? The right uniform at the occasion. So 16 quarts just needs to change. Now I'm going to ask myself, who's bigger, a quart or a gallon? A gallon's bigger, okay? So I'm going to go from small to big. I'm going to go from small to big. I'm going to divide. All right? Let me just erase the whole thing. All right, I'm going to divide. Now, how many quarts are in a gallon? 4, right? So 4. So then it's going to be 16 divided by 4. Notice how they give you lots of room to do this, but I'm not being sloppy. I'm taking my time. You can always pause the video to make sure that everything is neat, to make sure you have the correct information. There's no need to rush, okay? Like I told you before, it took God 6 days to make the earth. Honestly, he could just snap his fingers and the earth would have been like, boom, okay? But we all know it took him 6 days to create the earth. He was very organized and neat. So if our God can be organized and neat, we can be organized and neat here, okay? So what is 16 divided by 4? 4, 8, 12, 16. It's 4. Now, here's what you're not going to do. 4 does not go in the blank, okay? Because, remember, we have to change the Laker clothes. We have to go home, take off our Celtics uniform, and put on a Laker uniform instead. Here, this changes. So I cross it out, and I put 4 instead. Okay, that's what I do. 5 plus 4. 5 plus 4 equals 9. That's it. All right, now we know that may have been confusing. We're going to do number B, and then we'll do more at our Zoom meeting, okay? B. All right, again, I look at everything. I got feet, yard, yard. Ooh, at the end game, I like calling this the end game. At the end, we want yard. So someone needs to go home and change, right? You're like, you're not wearing the right uniform. And you know who it is? 15 feet. Okay? So, we gotta convert. I'm gonna put the steps down here very neatly, just like how I'm telling you to do the same thing. Then I'm gonna ask myself the questions. Now 3 yards is all cool. He's like enjoying the game because he came with the right uniform. Whereas 15 feet needs to change, right? Feet, who's bigger, a foot or a yard? A yard is bigger, right? So I go from small to big. Small to big, I divide. Let me just erase this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I divide. How many feet are in a yard? 3, that's right, 3. So then I do 15 divided by 3. Okay, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 5. Now 5 does not go in the blank, okay? 15 just changes to 5. He puts on his new uniform and then he goes back to the party and we can have a great time. 5 plus 3 equals 5 plus 3 equals 8. 8. Okay? Now, we will definitely try C and D at our Zoom meeting, all right? Your seat work is to do number 2 on this page, or you're just dividing by 8. So 72 divided by 8, ooh, guess what? That's over here. What is 72 divided by 8? 9. So you just put 9 in the box. Okay, see? Anyway, let's go to the next page because we've got some story problems to solve. Number 3. Ava has 6 cousins. Ava, cool. All right, I think Dylan knows an Ava at his church, and she definitely does have 6 cousins. All right, so we've got Ava. Ooh, let me write this down. She has 6 cousins. Matthew has 6 times as many. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, now it doesn't mean that Matthew has 6 cousins. He has 6 times. So that means I have to multiply. So that's this. 6 times 6. What's 6 times 6? Do you remember? 36. Matthew has 36 cousins. Wow. And Ava just has 6. Wow. Okay. How many cousins do they have all together? Now here, this was a 2-step process. First, we had to figure out how many cousins Matthew has. Okay. And he has 6 times, not 6 times, which is really 36 cousins. So now I have to figure out how many cousins Ava and Matthew have all together. That means I have to add. So I'm going to take 36 plus 6. All right. So these are Matthew's cousins again, and then Ava's cousins. Let's add. Actually, no, I want you to add. And then I want you to tell me at our Zoom meeting what you have. okay? I just set it up for you. You're welcome. All right, last one. Well, last story problem, and then you can do your seat work. Kelly and Wesley, that's not a word. Kelly and Wesley each invited 15 friends to a church picnic. Oh, okay. So here, they each invited, okay? So that means Kelly invited people and Wesley invited people. How many? It says here. Excuse me. Kelly invited 15. Wesley invited 15. How do you know, Miss Severa? Because it says each of them invited people, 15 people. That's how I know. How many people were invited? Well, now I've got to add to figure out how many people Kelly and Wesley invited. And you're going to tell me at our Zoom meeting. So don't forget to do number 3. So that is kind of like partial seat work there. So here's what you do have to finish. 4, 5, and 6. So here's the seat work. All right. Again, let me just add number 3 to this. And number 3. Where you have to, I set it up for you already. I hope you understood it. You just now have to solve it on your own. All right? Critical thinking move here, huh? Yeah, big brain moves, okay? So, thank you very much for listening. I hope you watched the language video. And then I will see you at our Zoom meeting.